welcome. Oh, an old god has a message for you today. And the runes that came through as I was tuning in to this very sunny, beautiful, blessed reading, clearly with the colours here. The first rune was Isa, which is stillness, focus, tapping in to your inner wisdom, very much aligned with the Hermit card in the tarot. And then after that I got Manaz, which is society, awareness. It's interesting. It was the word awareness that came through the most strongly. However, Manaz can be very much as above, so below, so without, so within. So there is a mirroring taking place at this time. I'm not looking at the cards yet. Oh, all of these gods want to come through. Maybe we'll do a series of old gods that want to talk to you at this time. We're going to focus on one at a time. I still haven't seen this god, but we're going to, with my eyes closed, we're going to sink into connection. Interesting that it's in reverse. We'll look at him upright, but let's sink into this energy and look at the banking. You're on the precipice. You're in the threshold. This is the theme that has been coming through, particularly over these next couple of months. We're going within. We're going into hermit territory. Even if we're active in the external world, there's a fresh focus on your inner world, on your inner thoughts, your inner being, and your inner light, and your inner guidance, your connection with your higher self. I've really got to get started on these guided meditations that sort of come through in these readings, shamanic journeying into connecting with your higher self, your higher wisdom. You are your own guide. It's wise to use, like I love tarot readings on YouTube, love them. But it's wise to use them as I'm getting like a feeding ground, like you're receiving guidance. However, you're simultaneously with your higher self lit up so that when your light shines and resonates with a message, you know it's for you. Also using online tarot readings as confirmation for what you're feeling. And often we have a sensation and it's quite nebulous, like it isn't in like its articulate final form. And this is where tarot readings on YouTube can really help, because our inner self is lit, our inner self is primed and ready. And when, we light up, when we resonate, when something hits as true for us, it's allowing the articulation of that nebulous energy that we're feeling to be confirmed and to be put into words, put into physical form. So clearly this is the first message from this old god who wants to talk to you today. And it's definitely that. It's what just came through. It's what I just channeled. With barely a look at this person, this being. I still don't even know who they are because I'm in channeling territory. But let's connect. Let's see who this are. Oh, Hod, tell the truth. This is exactly it. I've channeled the message. Thank you, Hod, for coming through. It's very clear. It's very wise. It's very honourable. With this, I know I'm mixing energies, but I think it's the Olympians that got that kind of wreath of laurel on their head. I could be wrong. But what I'm getting here is this crown of self-sovereignty, of self-wisdom, self-knowledge, that you always, heart chakra activated here, you always know the truth, because it hits, and you know it hits as being true, or it resonates as being true, or it lights you up in a way where you know this regal energy here. You know that this information that you're receiving, or this sign, signal, synchronicity that's occurring in the world around you, with that as without, as within, is aligned with you, is resonating with your frequency, and it's activating your frequency. So Hod is here to let you know this message, that you know what is true for you. You know what resonates. And there's this energy of gathering information, gathering signs, signals, and synchronicities, gathering guidance from tarot readings on YouTube or TikTok or whatever you like. But understanding that that it's down to you. You and your wise, honorable, hermit, high priestess self, to know what is true for you at any one time. I am wondering if we should have a little read about Hod. Don't tell me I've put the guidebook somewhere else. Okay. Let's learn more about Hod. I want to learn more about Hod. So I'm going to pause the video and find that guide. We've got bring it out into the open, be true to your feelings. Hod is the blind god of winter. Yes, that Isa energy, that awareness, that self-awareness, connection with your higher self energy in Norse mythology. He held a quiet inner strength and was always ready to help others. Hod was tricked, okay, by the god Loki into firing an arrow made of mistletoe, which killed his twin brother Baldur. Well, that is a lesson, and that is, clearly a metaphorical lesson in knowing which guidance, which messages from Loki here, the mischief maker, trickster god energy, what is true for you and what is not aligned. It's clearly very important at this time for you to really tune into your own frequency and notice when it kind of tingles, when it lights up, when it resonates, and notice when it falls flat. And when it falls flat, the guidance is to trust your internal guidance. You're the hermit here. You're the wisdom keeper of your own soul. You know deep down, you know in the energetic field what rings true and what doesn't. And here, poor Hod has, what I get is, betrayed his own self-knowing. And we do this all the time because there's so many, external forces at play telling us that our intuition is wrong, or that we're not seeing it correctly, or something like this. It's very easy to fall into this trap. And clearly it's extremely important at this time to tune in and tune out in a way. Tuning in, allowing what is coming through, sign, signals, and synchronicities, guidance on your tarot channels that you love, and notice what hits home, notice what resonates, and discarding the rest and allowing the rest to pass you by, water off a duck's back. Despite his tragic mistake, Hod becomes his twin's companion in the underworld after his own death. Hod makes amends by being honest about his error and becoming a spiritual counselor to Baldur. He became wiser for the mistake. And we've all made these mistakes. And the guidance is always, when we make those mistakes, to always trust your intuition, your soul's internal compass. trust what resonates with you as truth. Norse legend says that Hod survives Ragnarok, a destructive period preceding a new world, which is interesting because I feel like we are in the midst of a Ragnarok style dismantling of old systems externally and internally, birthing this new world energy. And through his atonement, goes on to rule alongside Baldur. Hod symbols are mistletoe and darkness. Interesting. He learned from his mistakes, and we have all made these mistakes. So to take them as part of the journey, part of the hero's journey that you were on, this is interesting, we've got 4 already. Companionship on the bottom, but we'll see what happens there. This is trusting your own power, trusting your own wisdom, your own higher self's wisdom. Seeing here the pillars and the gateway of the High Priestess, because I did get that with the High Priestess receives information. The hermit secludes himself into his own self-awareness to receive his own wisdom. So the High Priestess is receiving from the external energies, cosmic forces, frequencies, energies around her. And Hod, the hermit here, is going within to find his own truth. And it's this link, because we're never not in the world. We're in the energy of in between. We're in ourselves and our own wisdom and our own guidance and our own truth. However, we're also receiving. We're receptive beings. We have spiritual antenna. We're receiving guidance, sign signals, synchronicities and ideas and other people's opinions, including from the spiritual world. So we never just take a spiritual guidance as cut and dry, because there's so many dimensions, there's so many beings in the other dimensions, in the other worlds, that we are the intersection of. You certainly are. You are lit. You are awake and aware to these other energies, and they are not always low-key. 555 on the timer, big changes. They are not always guiding us for our own benefit. They can have their own agendas. So it's you're moving into the territory where you receive spiritual guidance within, perhaps in a meditation, and you're being called to sit in your own self-sovereignty, your own power, and to determine whether that guidance resonates with you, whether your internal compass is like, yes, we're doing this, that's 100% for us. Because there are spiritual beings, sorry to say, the spirit world is filled with low-key mischief makers, energies that are generally fourth dimensionally bound. They are stuck, they haven't managed to ascend, and they like to cause mischief. They like to try to have their own agendas play out. And there's also other energies that also try to influence humans in our dimension to follow their agenda. So now's the time to step into your power of knowing. This is what Hod has come to tell you. And that when something gives you the ick, something gives you the vibe of, that doesn't feel quite aligned, but I received that message and meditation, and so it's spiritual, so I should follow it. This is calling you into your own power. Whether you've received guidance from the spiritual plane or the physical plane, you know the truth of what is right for you, what is true for you. And this is your ticket, your golden ticket. This is like a winning the lottery symbol here. This is your golden ticket to spiritual freedom. Very powerful, like you are lit to be receiving this message. Like you are here and ready to take your place at the table of the spiritual world where you're not being swayed by these external forces. You're always coming home to yourself and knowing what is true for you and what is not true for you. This is your ticket to spiritual freedom and spiritual wealth and spiritual fulfillment here. This is beautiful energy. No longer encumbered by what other people say or what, spiritual influences are, trying to tell you what to do. Now, this is not to say that there is not highly beneficial spiritual forces at play around you. There 100% is, for sure. You're highly guided. You're a high-level being in their eyes. They see you as having a seat at the table. However, it's important to know that there are the low-keys out there in the spiritual world. There are the mischief makers and there are the malevolent beings as well. So becoming aware of this and always staying true to you and what you know is true. We're going to put these here but not read them yet because I want to see what these ones are. Oh, lovely. I thought this was the Seven of Swords when I saw it, but it's the Seven of Wands, which is guarding your territory. And this is your Nine of Pentacles here, which is you living this like abundant, fulfilled, joyous, satisfied life. 10-10 on the timer, which is angelic guidance here. The guidance here is that you need to guard your happiness. You need to guard your truth. You need to guard your energy because there are sharks in the water. There are the Lokis of the story of Hod in the water of the spiritual realm that filter through and also come through physical beings in the 3D realm as well. This is it. This is your guidance. Guard your peace, guard your happiness, and stand up for your own truth in any situation, be that spiritual or otherwise. Hod is coming through with the business. Hey, he's coming through with the business. And this is high level business. Like this is next level spiritual awareness that you're at the table. You're in the intersection of all the dimensions, all the spiritual dimensions and all the spiritual realms. And now it's time for you to practice discernment. Spiritual discernment is your key to spiritual wealth, happiness, success, and also on the physical world. Both of these are physical, real world, three-dimensional success, happiness, fulfillment, and abundance. Loss, the crow picking at the skull here. 12th house, Saturn in Pisces in the 12th house. Decision. This is the strategy here. This is coming through very strongly. I wouldn't be surprised if because we're at the Ragnarok end of the old world, the old framework, the old paradigm, the old earth that we've been living in. It's almost like these more nefarious forces are like, we gotta like get in there and we've gotta shake this up because otherwise, they're going to transcend, they're going to ascend into their new frequency as a collective on this planet, and we've got to do whatever we can do to stop that. So this is this energy here, the loss, the rising up from the deep, from the darkness, fears, shadows, triggers, unfortunate events as well on the physical, because those spiritual forces work through other people, and they definitely work through systems for sure. They have been mastering those systems and leading those systems for so long. They're like, this is our seat of power here. So when something comes in to your physical world or through some kind of spiritual guidance, you're guided to be discerning and to make decisions, to make moves based on your truth and your resonance here. Because, I mean, check out this amazing kind of winged angel being. I don't know who this is mythologically, but she is clearly a high-level guide, guiding you in the direction of truth, guiding you in the direction of this beautiful abundance and spiritual kind of regality here. Like, this is self-sovereignty in the spiritual world. And then there's other forces at play, equally powerful, black and white with our chessboard here, that want to lead you back into darkness, that want to lead you back into confusion, to make the wrong choice here with Hod, because they're coming up from the deep, because they want to pull humanity back down to them being having, you know, large-scale majority control over us. But this is your rising into this spiritual, regal, self-authoritative, like self-authoritative energy, where you know what is true and you make decisions based on that. Because check out the energy here. Fulfillment in the physical world and the spiritual world compared to this loss, losing out, the sharks in the water energy. This is what you're dealing with at this time, and Hod has come through to let you know, and he has given very clear guidance. Thank you, Hod. Very clear guidance for how to navigate, I would say, the next few months, several months even, I'm getting, as this more nefarious energy rises up and tries to trick you, tries to lure you, tries to regain control. But you're the one in control of your own story here. You're the one who is tapped into your truth, to your frequency, and what resonates, and what gives you the spiritual ick, basically, what gives you pause over here. I'm going to leave this amazing message from Hod here. Thank you for being here, and if this message has resonated with you, please show me the love by liking, subscribing, and commenting, and I will see you next time.